Just 15 players remain in EPT Prague, all fighting it out for the champions title and 800,000 euros.
Could you please let me take just one hand? Just one, only one from you, and we are in peace.
Day 3 has been a bloodbath. The Italians were riding high, sending countless victims to the misery of the rail. The atmosphere is electric, the enthusiasm of the supporters unrivaled. Who's gonna make it to the final table of the biggest tournament Eastern Europe has ever seen? Yes, we thought Prague was big last season, but our second visit to the charming Czech capital has seen another impressive turnout. 3 days ago, 570 poker players descended upon the Hilton Prague, ready for some tough play. Now, a huge starting field means only one thing: a huge prize pool. Nearly 2.8 million euros, with the top 56 players getting paid. Halfway through the very busy third day's play, just 15 remain in the hunt for a first prize of nearly 800,000 euros. Currently in the chip lead is Finland's Fredrik Nygård with over $1 million in chips.
Right now, I just have shifted gears many times in this tournament. Right now, I'm in a gear where I'm picking my spots very carefully, and I'm really hoping for the final table and then see where I'm at right there.
But German shooting star Sebastian Ruthenberg already has 4 EPT cashes to his name, including the Season 5 Barcelona title, and he's on a roll at the moment.
I don't know if people will attack me, but I think they will have a little bit of fear of me and do not try to bluff me that often.
We saw tussles between Sebastian and Juan earlier on in the day, and now they're sitting next to each other at the feature table.
Sebastian is still in, and we gotta watch out with him also. No matter if he's short stack now, he can double up and he's danger.
There are bound to be fireworks.
And to witness that spectacle, I'm joined by Vicky Corrin, champion of EPT London in Season 3. And I have to confess, Vicky, I thought this was going to be quite a small tournament for the EPT. Nearly 600 players turned up in Prague.
There are no small tournaments anymore. Everyone's got money, everyone can travel. There is no credit crunch in poker.
This is Jonathan Duhamel from Montreal in Canada.
He's going to make a raise.
He's going to raise it up to 21,000 with King 8 offsuit.
I like his style. Unfortunately, look at this. I mean, you remember from the last episode, Bonavena played almost no hands at all. Unfortunate for Duhamel that he should meet him with one of the small range he would play.
Ace King on the button for another Italian player, Domenico Iannone.
Wow. Let's hope Duhamel doesn't have one of those prejudiced opinions about Italian players. Let's hope he isn't one of those who believes that the Italians will play with any old rubbish.
Domingo's made a re-raise.
So he raises it up to 85,000.
To 85,000.
Ace Queen for Juan Maciera. It's an easy fold for him, really, against a raise and a re-raise.
Duhamel can move out of the way as well. The question is, Bonavena, is he going to stick it in at this point? There
Yes.
you go. In it goes.
How much?
251,000 is our count, which is about half of what Iannone's got sitting in front of him.
Yeah, of course he could be picking up a pot of, 380,000 for this investment. I like the fact that he's thinking about it, though. Not just immediate call all in with the Ace King, as some would.
Hang on, what happened to English only at the table?
Sure.
Wow, released it. He's asked him in Italian, will you show me the hand if I pass? Affably, Bonavena's agreed, and he's let go the Ace King.
I don't want to play one coin flip now.
My friend.
Salvatore takes the pot with his queens. It would have been a coin flip. I'd ace king.
Coin flip.
I think it's a good pass, James, honestly do, because against this particular player, queens is probably the worst he's got. What if it's aces or kings?
I think
I folded queen before
you
I
can
went
fold
home,
one
so it
ace,
was in your
you ace king, my out
Yeah, I know.
3, 4 maybe.
Do you want a deal? It makes no difference.
15 players remain then, 8 on our feature table and 7 on this, the other table out on the floor. Dominating this table is Greek Konstantino Alexiou, currently sitting second in chips overall in the tournament, but he needs to look out for high-stakes cash player and poker trainer Raul Maestra. Frederick Newgaard is bound to be pushing our feature table around with such a huge chip lead, but he'll face some fierce opposition from Italian Salvatore and Domenico. The short stack is Sebastian Ruthenberg, but as we rejoin the action, it's Al Nasser who's moved all in, and Frederick has a decision to make.
Yeah, Newgaard raised his button to 22,000. Nazir came over the top of him.
121,000 more.
Is he priced in with Queen 9?
Nah. No, he's put in 22,000. He doesn't need to put in another 120. I mean, even though I personally like a Queen 9, I'm superstitious about that kind of hand, but he could so easily be against Ace King, King Queen, a Queen Jack suited.
I don't have a good hand, but...
I mean, if Nazir's got a small pair, then he might want to gamble.
If they're live, it could be good.
Only one of them's live, Frederick, although this is a man who describes himself as a stupid gambler. His words, not mine.
He's got to pass this.
I call.
He's called it.
All right.
Frederick announces call.
I don't really understand that call. He's put in 22,000. He has to shuffle in 120,000 more with Queen High.
All-in player. Let's see the flop.
I bring you back to that comment.
Mind you, at this point, I'd rather have Newgar's hand. Not at this point.
Yeah, jacks have been known to be the hand of death, but not when you make trips on the flop and your opponent has not much. Oh, quad jacks.
Jack, that's going to be a little difficult to beat. Master's going to double up. Here's a card, please.
Ooh.
If you're going to double up, why not double up in style?
I folded this, yeah.
Welcome back to Prague, the capital of the Czech Republic, the latest city to play host to an event in Season 5 of the European Poker Tour. Sebastian Ruthenberg already has an EPT title this season. He will fold under the gun, as will Frederick Newgaard. Action has been folded around to Salvatore Bonavena. The Italian looks like he's got kings.
Well, he's reaching for chips, so he's got at least kings. There they are. Wow, he's really finding some big cards. And of course, you know, he chose to show his pair of queens earlier, which I wouldn't have done in his place, because the other players don't need to know how tight he is. He's actually played quite a few hands. That's because he's found big hands. He gave them an unnecessary advantage by showing the queens.
This is Rifat Pavlovic from Sweden. He will let his hand go. The Spaniard Juan Macieras doesn't like to let hands go. Although 4-10 off suit. Now Juan Bonavena is not a player you should be even contemplating making a move against.
I gotta play you one time. How much he puts?
Tricky though, isn't it? Because they know Bonavena is a tight player, which may mean that if he's made this raise with 9s or 10s, he would pass it where another player wouldn't. But we know that he's so tight, he wouldn't have done it with 9s or 10s. He didn't come here to raise with 2 9s.
First time in 2 days I'm raising your hand. What can I have?
Look, he's already regretting it. Listen to that,
First time in
Macieras.
2 days.
He's made the re-raise, he already regrets it. Look, he hates himself. He's furious. What have I done? Why have I just re-raised this guy? What did I do that? I've got 10-4. I'm an idiot. That's what's happening in his head.
Salvatore, let it go.
He's not going to let it go.
Let it go. Just one hand.
He's a lot
There's
stronger
no
than you
more
think
than
he
that.
is, Juan.
Not possible, Juan.
Eh?
Not possible.
Not
I'm
possible?
All in.
Salvatore
All in?
announces re-raise. All in.
You're my friend.
Yeah.
So you're not my friend? Call.
Okay, you tried it, Juan. It didn't work. Now fold.
Well, he's got to do the Hollywood dwell, doesn't he? Oh, this is so difficult.
Yeah. Oh, I could.
If you got pair of threes, you're ahead. I hate this hand.
I'm not surprised. Look at it.
I love it. He means this for the viewers at home. I hate this hand.
Any pair is good. How can I call 200,000, 300,000?
He's not lying. I think this is my new favourite player.
One's going to let it go, and Salvatore's going to take the pot.
Chips to Bonavena.
I'm going to do that. Next time I make a naked bluff with nothing, I'm going to sit there going, oh, I hate this hand. Yeah, meanwhile, Bonavena mops up with another big hand.
I tell you what, those Italians would have been a lot happier if Macieras had called there. Not that was going to happen in a million years. There's loose aggressive and there's insane. Jack Queen of Diamonds.
There you go, you see. There you go. He has not come here to raise with quite strong hands. Straight in the muck. Straight in. No, that's it. Jack Queen suited. Pass.
Yeah, most of the other players at this table would make the initial raise with that.
But why should he care, James? Why should he care? He's found kings, queens, kings. He's not worried that it's the best he's going to see, Jack Queen. Confident that aces will come.
Pocket threes for the Swede. And Pavlovic is counting out chips. Here is a guy who describes himself as an action player.
Well, the thing is, I think if he's got 176,000, so what he's thinking about is whether to move in. He can't really raise and pass. You know, big blind is 10. If he puts in 30, 40,000.
He's going to raise to 28,000.
28,000, but he can't pass for a re-raise. I mean, if I were him, I would be straight away all in. Because...
Oh, Macieras has got 10-4 again.
I hate this hand.
It's suited this time.
Yeah, but Pavlovic must not pass for any raise. That's why he'd been better off just moving himself in. Does Macieras know that? Does either of them know it? If they both know
160 more you got?
that Pavlovic can't pass for a raise.
One re-raises.
But is Macieras suspicious about the fact that with his stack, Pavlovic didn't push all in? He's thinking, you thought about it for ages, you've clearly got some marginal hand that you didn't want to push with, and I might just be able to take you off it.
Yeah, but listen, it's a disrespectful raise because Pavlovic should not be able to pass. I mean...
I might fold. Ace king. Why? Because I folded ace king before? Okay, you push and I shove.
Show both on.
You push and you see my hand. No line.
Oh, you've got to give him 10 out of 10 for entertainment.
Sure if I fold?
Alright, if you show, I show.
I mean, he's just seen Macieras
fold
make a
as well.
re-raise against Bonavena and pass for the all-in, so he knows the guy will do it with not much.
You get information from me, I get information from you. You see which kind of hand you fold and raise with, and you see which kind of hand I re-raise it.
And, you know, all this talk from Macieras, he might pass for the all-in, of course he won't. But Pavlovic has got to try and win this tournament, you know. He's got 14 big blinds in his stack. He's got a situation where he's found a pair, an incredibly loose player has raised against him.
And he folds, and he shows the threes. Macieras shows the
And one
10-4.
shows 10-4 suited and
It
heart.
doesn't mean anything. Might as well be ace-king, you know. The 10-4, he shows it as a bluff, but against a pair of threes,
I'm tilted.
it's just a couple of overs, isn't it?
When I'm tilted, I'm tilted.
Monica Jonas here.
So 15 players remain, and one has certainly been the most entertaining.
Okay, you push and I shove.
The aggressive Spaniard is from a poker-playing family. He, his sister, and father all have impressive tournament and online careers. Supporting him here is his girlfriend Beatrice and sister Maria.
I am so happy he's there and he's a show, you know, so it's always funny to see him.
He's cashed twice before, so is desperate to take the title here.
Just keep playing like I was doing and keep making a strong match stack and keep playing my game and keep trying to make final table.
He's struggling so far, though, to get past Valencian amateur player Salvatore Bonavena. This is only his second EPT event, having debuted but not cashed in San Remo last year. Cheering him on are his Italian compatriots, including favourite player and friend Dario Minieri. His life ambition is to win an EPT event, but can he go all the way here in Prague?
Okay, guys, I want you to listen this. I only bluff once a year. I'm done for this year. Okay? You all got it?
Yeah, they're really going to believe you, Juan.
Once a year is the bluff.
Juan promises to only bluff once a dealer.
No, once a year.
Once a year.
Once a year, no bluff.
Once a year?
Once a year.
Yeah, but the point is that Pavlovic made it possible for him to bluff by making a small raise with a pair off a small stack. You know, he invited the bluff.
Pavlovic is now incredibly short stacked,
That was a bluff.
and the action has been folded around to him.
Best hand they got was him, and they folded my two best hands today.
He looks so depressed.
Two best hands. Pocket tens, and they
Well, there you go. That's the end of his tournament. I guarantee you. He's played a pair wrong. He's found another brigade. He's going home without a shadow of a doubt. I don't even care what they've got behind him. 10-4.
I like to play. I don't like to.
This is one of those spots.
I like the game.
And again, it doesn't look like he's going to make the all-in move. He raised it up to 49,000, but this time I think the rest of his chips will go over the line if he's re-raised.
Gonna fold around Frederick on the butt?
Yeah, I mean, in this situation, I suppose the argument for not moving in is that he's much happier to get a bluffing re-raise than you are with a pair of threes. The problem with threes is somebody bluffs at you, it's uncomfortable. Here, you get, oh, well, what difference? All in gets a call, raise gets a re-raise.
How much do you have left?
Give them like high noon, stare at each other. I'm assuming this is just a performance from Al Nazir, you know.
I'm all in.
Yeah,
Nasser
it's
announces
got to be
re-raise,
all in,
all in.
and Pavlovic has got a call, and here it doesn't matter that he didn't move in straight away, because it's the same result if he does.
So Pavlovic calls all in. He'll show the ace-king. And we talk about it being a coin flip, but as we can see from the percentages, Nazir is actually better than a 50%.
Yeah, but it's not a coin flip here because Nazir's got the blockers for the straight that the ace-king could make against a smaller pair, yes. Well, slim pickings for Pavlovic.
It's funny, as soon as you saw he had ace-king, you said, that's it, it's over, he's going home.
It's because of the hand with the threes. You see, if you do that, you slightly screw up a hand with a small pair, and then you find what you think is a better hand, it usually seals your doom. I'm not saying I'm superstitious.
He needs an ace or a king that's not a heart, because that would make Nazir a flush. Can he hit? You called it, Vicky. This was the hand that sees Rifat Pavlovic eliminated from the tournament. He will be our 15th place finisher.
And Pavlovic has done nothing wrong in that hand. See, it's the one before that he's got a sweat at.
With 14 players remaining, let's take a look at the leaderboard. Greek Konstantino Alexiou is now our chip leader with over 1 million in chips, while Finn Frederick Nygård has slipped down to second place. The Italians dominate the top half of the table, holding 4 of the top 8 spaces and keeping the crowd entertained. Looking at the bottom half of the table now, Team Germany have work to do if they're to have any representation at all in the final. Rifat Pavlovic takes home €16,600 for his 15th place finish.
Blinds are posted, 5 and 10,000.
Which one was your biggest cash? Barcelona, right?
EPT Barcelona, yes. It was
World Series, how much was?
300 and...
It was in 7 cards still.
I'll get it quietly.
I was going to say, Juan interviewing Sebastian Ruthenberg about tournaments he has won.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Me too. It's
I played
favorite game.
I played 7 cards to the 1500, but it was the first time ever I played that game.
Yeah.
And I played it the band.
I'd like to play
First
7
time
cards
ever
top with
I
him when he's
played.
trying it for the first time. Don't worry about that.
Juan with towers of chips.
Could you please let me take just one hand? Just one, only one from you, and we are in peace. I don't need any more. Could you please just let it go? Not even look your hand. Not even look your hand. Just
He's
hold.
determined to take Salvatore Bonavena's big
Come on, not
blind.
even look. Not even look. One, just one.
Cool with it.
You gotta go all in.
Nu har vi shots.
I tell you what, I would have loved it.
Ja, jag kan-
Loved it if Bonavena had picked that
That's
moment to make a
You
move.
could show the age. You fold and show the age. You got much more respect from me. I thought we were friends, and I don't know we are now.
Wow.
I thought we
Well,
just
Car.
made peace between Spain and Italia.
They jealous because Spain won the Euro Cup.
Ah, football banter.
And it seems that Juan's girlfriend finds him as entertaining as we do. Which is probably a good thing, because they have to spend 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in each other's company.
Well, they don't have to. Well, you have a very strict idea of a relationship. Goodness me. Is she allowed to go to the bathroom?
I was brought up very traditionally.
There we go. No pair. Look at this. He's going to make a raise with no pair. He's getting braver.
Must be nice to find cards in this situation.
I wouldn't know.
Domingo will fold the button over to Juan in the small blind.
Oh, Juan could get himself into trouble here.
He's going to make the call.
I like the fact that he's just called.
Just call.
He can't bear to give up that hand, but
Just a call.
he's now learned that Bonavena doesn't tend to raise with cards that he'll then pass. You know, he can hit a bit of something with the King Jack, and also if Bonavena doesn't make a pair on the board, he can be bullied off it.
He's going to pass.
I don't want to be hurt each other. No daño, no pelear.
Spain and Italia again. Heads up to the flop.
Interestingly, Ruthenberg folded the Queen Jack there. In many situations, you'll see players in the big blind come along with a hand like that because they feel that they're priced in.
Yeah, but he knows it'll be dead against Bonavena's range. You know, you can't squeeze with that against this guy.
Juan's going to be first.
Sierra's first to speak.
This is good, you see, because Bonavena hasn't got a pair. Whether he's the kind of player who can make the big raise without a pair.
Tens one time. I don't know if I can fold every single hand.
Salvatore makes the call.
I'm not being critical, by the way. I think players can afford to be a bit tighter, a bit more patient. You know, the current fad for all in with nothing. I don't mind how Bonavena's playing. It's just whether it gives Macieras the advantage when they've each got no pair.
Well, Bonavena called the flop. It slowed Macieras down, and now, of course, Bonavena has hit on the turn. It's been checked to him.
Danger, danger. I wonder if Macieras is check raising here.
Salvatore bets.
100,000.
100,000.
Well, if he wants to raise it, then it's
All
going
right.
to be all in or thereabouts.
That's enough.
Macieras does check raise, and it's a min raise.
No, it's a minimum raise, but it's effectively all in. But well, he's moved all in now, Bonavena. Yeah.
Oh my God.
My friend.
Oh no, my friend, man.
Come on, my friend. I call. You know, my friend.
Oh my God. This is so
Macieras has been making so many moves against this guy, and every time he's been trapped.
whatever, man.
Yeah, but there's absolutely no way. His King Jack is good. Yeah, well, he's folded it. I mean, he could have called to try and hit a Jack, I guess, for such a big pot, but there's no way against that guy. He wasn't some way behind.
Bonavena and Macieras clash what seems like the 10th time, and it's 10 out of 10 for the Italian as he rakes in another huge pot.
Welcome back to beautiful Prague, the 5th event of EPT Season 5. We're down to just 13 players as we've lost Domenico Iannone from our feature table.
Let's have a warm round of applause for Domingo. He's going to finish EPT Prague in 14th place.
He takes home 22,100 euros and the final table draws ever nearer.
Both Juan Macieras and Sebastian Ruthenberg are two of the shortest stacks at our feature table. Macieras down to 217,000 after some badly timed moves against Salvatore Bonavena.
Well, it was badly he just picked the wrong person to move against. You know, I like this Macieras. I'm funking for him, but hello.
He's going to raise 23,000.
Well, listen, you know, if the mountain won't come to Mohammed, he is not finding cars, Duhamel.
Yeah, can't fault him for making a late position raise, although he's got these two guys in the blinds, and Macieras is going to play a flop with him with the 8-7 of hearts.
Well, Duhamel is in front with the Queen 5. Nice hand.
Let's see the flop. Flop is Ace of Diamonds, 3 of Hearts, 9 of Spades. Juan is first.
Doesn't change anything. Macieras checks. Figure he's setting up a check raise here. He knows Duhamel's going to make a continuation bet.
Very nice to check raise on an ace high board. You know, if the original raiser doesn't have one, he's got to throw it away. Yeah, if he wants to make it 100 now, Macieras 100,000, 120,000. All he's doing is gambling that Duhamel doesn't have an ace. Straightforward. If he thinks he doesn't, if he thinks he'll take the chance the guy doesn't have an ace, stick the chips in.
Raise.
Here he goes.
Yeah, great bet. Great bet. Yeah, he cannot call with Queen. It's winning. He cannot call. No way. I love this play from Macieras. Now he's picked the right opponent, you see. Against Bonavena, no. Against this, look at this cheeky young scamp. You know, he's a youngster, he's got the busy jumper on, he's got the little beard. He's exactly the kind of guy who could have his hands in the cookie jar. That's the one to move against. Well played.
I'm with you, Vicky. You've got to love the way this guy plays the game.
Newgard back on top then, but Konstantinos Alexiou isn't far behind. The Italian contingent remains strong, while Spaniards Matheras and Maestro are fighting for their places in the top half of the table as well. In the bottom half, Sebastian Ruthenberg and Daniel Drescher are stuck in 12th and 13th place and need to get busy if they're to make it into the final 8. 13 remain.
Blinds are up, 6 and 12,000. Bonavena folding under the gun. Juan Macieras looking frustrated. Doesn't have as many chips to play with.
Now, let me say, I like this hand better as a re-raising hand than a straight raise. What's he going to do with a re-raise? Better to just pass it if you're early on and re-raise with it. Well, exactly, you see. Got to be a re-raise here. Al Nazir. Another one who hasn't shown that much inclination to get out of line either. It's usually a real hand when he plays.
Macieras not as chatty as he was before.
He looks nervous, actually. Blue chips going in.
So there's the re-raise, 84,000.
Re-raise to 84,000 total.
Duhamel folds the big blind, so back to Macieras.
52,000 chip raise. John has folded the big blind.
He's got to throw away. That's the problem with raising with the 8-6 of spades. I mean, that's all very well, but
52,000 more.
why not limp in with it? Either see a cheap flop or re-raise, or just throw it away early.
Or instead, he elects to make a call here.
Yeah, I mean, he sort of created a very big pot. And the problem is, if he flops anything, it's much more likely to be a draw than a made hand. What does he want to do?
Well, that noise from the outer table tells us that Igor Regivan has been eliminated. 13th place finisher, collecting just over 22,000 euros.
Yeah, this is a mistake by Macieras. Well, look at that, it's a massive draw. He's going to have to be all in.
I got 200,000 free.
He'll get the call. I mean, ordinarily he'd flop a much weaker draw. In this case, both of them have to get all the chips in straight away.
I'm all in.
Yeah, there we go, all in.
So Nazir bets with top pair. Macieres with the straight flush draw moves all in, immediately called by Nazir, who is in front. But look at the percentages. Macieres has a lot of outs here.
Yeah, because, you know, he's got a middle pin straight flush draw, which is a much better draw than he's entitled to flop. I hope it comes. I like him. I like Macieres. If he leaves, the table will be a lot less fun.
Nasser's in the lead with a pair of queens, ace-queen. Juan has a gut shot, straight flush draw, 6-8 of spades.
Macieres that's all in, isn't it?
Turn is the 5 of
Oh,
hearts.
that's no good.
Two pair now for Nasser.
Come on, give him a 7 of diamonds. He's worked for
The
it.
flush draw and the straight draw for Juan. Let's see the
A
river
spade or a 7. That's what Juan Macieres needs.
Rivers.
It doesn't come. Instead, it's the full house for Nazir Al Nazir. Juan Macieres, 12th place finisher, but he's not happy than that. He had his sights set on the final table. He had his sights set on taking down an EPT title. And I think that's going to happen one day because this guy's got game.
Yeah, I like his style. I'm genuinely sorry to see him go. Meanwhile, El Nazir, 4 jacks, full house. He must be living right.
Juan Macieres, one of our sponsored players here. This is your 3rd deep EPT cash. You've got one final table, one very close to final table from Barcelona. I know you're gutted, but your style of play does seem to be to either go really deep and win it or to go home.
No. I play aggressive and I play some hand, but I don't play just for get a deep stack and go home. No, I don't take the risk. So if I guess I got the best hand. I just play aggressive, and if I get my case is the opponent is not a good hand, I don't care to take a risk. I don't care my hand. I just play with the opponent, and that's my style.
But you're certainly a creative player as well, and you've been very entertaining. Watching some of the bluffs that you've shown as well is always entertaining at home. So thank you very much for talking to us, and commiserations on not making the final table here. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
raised to 32,000.
The pocket rockets. Well, Nugar made a questionable call against this guy with Queen 9. If Nazir re-raises with the aces, what's he going to do with 8-9?
Well, presumably throw it away.
I remind you, he calls himself a stupid gambler.
It was a very different situation. Nazir's got far more chips now. There, it was an all-in. It was a chance to knock out a player. He couldn't resist it this time. You know, Nazir's got big chips. He's up to nearly $1 million. I think Nugar could play back. But surely he can't just call. If he doesn't put the guy on aces, you know, he could make a move.
Well, hang on a second. Looks like Bonavena's got a decision, and that's why, because he's got kings.
Oh, that is unfortunate. I mean, so far we've seen Bonavena only plays aces, kings, and ace king, so quite unlucky when he finds them that someone else has better. Oh, he's declared all in.
Nugar should fold in an instant, sure enough. Nazir instantly calls, obviously, because he has the best starting hand you can possibly have, and Bonavena says, I've done so well to get this far, and now this happens. Cooler.
I mean, their 1 and 2 has been horrible, really have been horrible.
Oh, no early cheers, my friend. No early cheers.
There are still 5 cards to come, and there are 2 kings in that deck. Plus spades alive for Bonavena as well. There's the king in the door.
No, now, you see the behaviour. He cheers the bad beat. El Nazir, in a way, brought it upon himself, chirping pre-flop. Never do it.
Hold the celebrations until the river card is dealt. Nazir looking gutted. He needs to hit an ace on the river. Well, Bonavena doubles through by making a set on the flop. Now you can celebrate. Now you've done it.
Oh, I just feel really heartbroken for little El Nazir. His world just went very wrong.
What better way to celebrate our 5th season of the EPT than to take a look back through the PokerStars.com European Poker Tour archives. Coming up, the top 5 aces crack. 5. Nothing beats peeling back those pocket rockets, but 5 cards later, it can be a different story. Let's start in Copenhagen, on the final table bubble where Danny Ryan made a stand.
King, Queen of Hearts now.
I'm all in.
Well, there's a good card, an ace. That has Ryan beat already.
What's he got with it?
Oh,
another one.
Another one. Incredible.
All in.
Aces still 4-1 favourite after the flop.
It's a 4.
It's another heart. So
well,
now
that's an interesting card.
Johan Lund needs to duck on the river. It's a heart. Danny Ryan,
Incredible.
river's a flush.
Wow, what a way to go out at the final 9.
4. When you find yourself in a pot against Gus Hansen, you don't really want to be holding much less than pocket aces.
Whoops. Uh-oh, he's hit a queen. There could be fireworks here.
You're mine, come to Papa. You haven't got trip queens. Quads? No chance.
He knows there's only one card can beat him, and that's the
Horrible
queen.
card. I mean, it's a horrible card for Larsen.
Goodbye, Mr. Larsen.
3. Just 4 remained in Copenhagen Season 3 when Theo Jorgensen and his trendy hat moved all in with aces. Then Richard Toth heard a voice. Theo has nothing.
He's making the call.
Theo couldn't believe his luck until the turn card from hell.
Opt for.
Yep, the inevitable.
Toth has made a flush and has actually knocked Theo Jorgensen out of the tournament.
2. The USA's Brandon Schaefer must have thought Christmas had come early when Yuri Kulenek moved all in.
I'm all in. How much is it?
It was all fun and frolics on the flop.
He's picked up a straight draw. Whoop.
I believe you're drawing dead, Mr. Schaefer. 1. In at number 1 comes this corker from Dortmund Season 4.
Pocket kings for Torsten Haas.
He's hoping to get a re-raise now.
This is not the play he wants to see a re-raise from, though.
I'm all in, baby. I got
A re-raise all in from Torsten.
A re-raise, an all-in.
Boom, boom, boom.
It was a dream flop for the Bullets.
One out.
Well, now he is
So
on
now
out.
he has exactly 1 out.
He has the deuce of spades.
Now he's back to 2 outs.
2 outs, baby.
2 outs in the deck. It's got to be a king, and it is a king
It's on the river.
on the river.
Unbelievable.
Miracles happen in Dortmund, Germany.
Back at our feature table, the action has been folded around to the button. Jonathan de Hamel with the decision, and he is going to move with the 7s.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do.
Ruthenberg calls in the big blind because he's run into jacks.
Yeah, well, that's unlucky for de Hamel, isn't it? He's absolutely right to move there. Hasn't given anyone the chance to bluff him.
He doesn't risk elimination here, though, because Ruthenberg actually has fewer chips than him.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty horrible. They're both quite short stacked. Neither of them can really afford to lose a big pot. Worse for Ruthenberg, but de Hamel will only get a bit of shrapnel back. 92. Assuming the jacks stand up.
Yeah, we've seen one horrific bad beat. We don't want to see another.
I wonder how El Nazir is feeling. He says that his favourite player is Sebastian Ruthenberg. Do you think he wants to see him win the pot? Of course not. He wants to see him out. More money for everyone.
De Hamel makes a set.
2 of spades, king of spades, 7 of clubs.
What is this? The worst hand coming from behind again.
Yeah.
John is now in the lead.
One of those phases where you do not want to have the best hand going in. Game goes like that sometimes.
Ooh, Ruthenberg has picked up a flush draw now, so a jack or a spade
Or any spade that isn't the 7
will seal the deal for him.
in order to double through.
Obviously not the 7 of spades. And he's hit the spade! Ruthenberg makes a flush. Well, it was the right result in a way. He had the best hand going into the flop.
Yeah, the best hand won. As I say, I wonder how El Nazir feels. I mean, his hero is still at the table, but the money hasn't gone up. Meanwhile, it's unfortunate for de Hamel. You know, he's entitled to think that a pair of 7s is best at that point.
Well, let's catch up with the other German player, Daniel Drescher. He might need a stronger drink than that. He finds himself all in with ace-10 against Konstantinos Alexiou's pocket queens. No ace on the flop. Not looking good for Daniel. He's going to need to hit on the turn or river. Just one card to come, and it's got to be the ace. It doesn't come. Alexiou celebrates. Drescher is eliminated in 11th place. 10 players remain in the tournament. And look how many chips the Greeks got. So 2 tables of 5. When we lose another player, we get 1 table of 9.
Brilliant time to start bluffing, obviously. Well, not that that's what Duhamel's doing here, but it is. Any kind of bubble, that's when you want to start picking on the weak. Now, he's only all in for 35,000, which means whoever's on the big blind sort of has to call with any 2.
All-in raise is 35,000.
You know, whether it's small, no, but now he's got to call with anything, doesn't matter. Must call.
One of the situations where I'm priced in, I have to, but I wish I had better than Jack 5. Although, actually, they're both live.
Well, that's exactly the kind of hand you hope it's fresh. Ace 2, that's what you don't want to have.
Queen, ace of clubs, queen of diamonds.
You're live, man.
Nasser has jack of clubs, 5 of spades.
Well, both of these two have been on the unlucky form for a few hands.
Queen of diamonds against jack of clubs, 5 of spades.
He's going to get unlucky now.
Flop has a jack on it. So Nazir moves in front, and Duhamel is now on the verge of elimination.
10 of diamonds, maybe? 10 of diamonds for the Canadian?
Just the ace and the queen now. Duhamel's going to need to hit one of those cards, or he's gone. He's packing up his stuff, including those Elky-like sunglasses. Doesn't hit on the river. And so he's our 10th place finisher. And it means that when we come back from the break, we'll have all 9 remaining players seated around the same feature table. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Welcome back to EPT Prague, where we're 9-handed. It's been an action-packed day so far, which has seen us wave a sad goodbye to the colourful Spaniard Juan Matheras, to name just one casualty. The real story has been the Italians. 3 of the remaining 9 are from Italy, including our current chip leader Salvatore Bonavena. He's having a great run. Let's have a look at the chip count going into 9-handed play. Some very big stacks at the top of the table then, with Sebastian Ruthenberg desperately needing to double through. He seized his opportunity firsthand against the formidable Konstantinos and came out on top.
It's an ace of clubs. Sebastian's going to double through.
The next 11 hands saw mostly cautious play, with very few chips going into the middle. That was until Francesco Siriani woke up with pocket aces and made his move against the unsuspecting Frederick Newgard.
It's a 10 of diamonds. Franco's going to double through.
A big pot for Nasser El Nasra a couple of hands later put him back in the competition, leaving the leaderboard looking like this, going into the 19th hand of 9-handed play.
And the action tends to slow down at this stage, Vicky, because of course this is the final table bubble. All these guys want to come back tomorrow and be in with a chance of winning that 800,000 euros.
Yeah, that's why it's a good time to pick up the aggression. Can't start being nervous of getting knocked out, whatever stage you're at.
Got some new faces at the table, including 2 more Italian players, Massimo De Chico and Francesco Ciriani. They've both folded. This is Andrew Chen from Canada.
We've seen him raise with his hand before, Nugal. Not this time. Hello? Could it be queens? He's raised with just a pair of 2s. They said it would never happen. And unfortunately for him, he makes his first move just when Ruthenberg's got a hand and the right chips for a move. It's unfortunate, isn't it? I mean, this is the worst hand by a long way that Bonavena's played. And he finds someone in the small blind with a re-raising hand.
Konstantinos Alexiou will give up his big blind. So back to Bonavena.
This is very surprising. You know, he's played so tight, Bonavena. Wow, all in! Look at this, playing like a young lion cub.
You know what? I wouldn't blame Ruthenberg for laying this down here, because the history of the way Bonavena has played dictates that ace-queen is probably crushed here.
He should lay it down. I mean, it's like Bonavena's been possessed. It's like when Massieras left the table, his soul slipped back into the body of the Italian. Ruthenberg should... Bonavena is absolutely supposed to have aces, kings, ace... I mean, he's supposed to. He's shown nothing worse. He's played this super strong. I would pass ace-queen. I mean, the problem is there's $1.5 million in the pot.
Nice floor. Nice floor.
Oh, and Bonavena shows the deuces. Oh, that's going to torture Ruthenberg now.
It's such an understandable fold, though. I mean, there's $1.5 million in the pot, so if he thinks he's against, you know, even kings, he should probably make the call for a couple of 100,000. But aces, it so easily could have been.
There's the aforementioned Juan Massieras supporting Ruthenberg from the rail now.
No, you see, but that is actually just Massieras' body with the spirit of Bonavena in it. They've swapped. It's like Freaky Friday.
That's a terrible movie. How dare you reference it?
It's a great movie, Jodie Foster. Or have you seen the remake?
I'm talking about the remake.
Yeah, you don't want to be watching the remake. Yeah, here comes Ruthenberg now. It's going to be all in.
145,000 across the line. King, queen offsuit is the hand he's making a stand with.
Of course, here's a classic problem. When you've just been seen to play a hand that might put you on tilt, for example, somebody's shown you a pair of twos as a bluff, well, it doesn't matter here because the guy's got ace-king, but people will call you a lot quicker, you know.
Oh, hang on a second. So all in from Ruthenberg, all in from De Chico, and now Ciriani with the decision with the tens.
Very much like the way Ciriani's dressed, by the way.
You've got to love the scarf.
Yeah, it's magnificent. It's like something from the Da Vinci Code. Now, the key factor may be that De Chico is all in over the top, you see. He's thought ahead, De Chico. He hasn't just flat called. You know, he's all in over the top, and that's why Ciriani can't have any room for manoeuvre.
Well, Ciriani will tell his fellow countrymen that he folded the tens. Ruthenberg is going to see that he is dominated and will need to be as lucky as the luck box that he thinks he is to survive here.
When Ciriani sees the hands, he will wish he had his two tens back again. Oh, he could have won a massive pot.
Ruthenberg looking for that queen on the turn or river, or we have our final table. Three queens in the deck. Can he hit? No is the answer. The Italians celebrate.
Well, one of them does. The other one is wishing he had his two tens back.
He's still happy. He's made the final table, unlike Sebastian Ruthenberg, who, having won Barcelona this season, has now bubbled the final table here in Prague. Oh. And it must be so tough for him to see all this going on, knowing that he won't be coming back tomorrow.
Let's take a look at our final table then. A lineup dominated by Italians, much to the crowd's delight. Salvatore and Konstantinos will be confident going into the last day, while the bottom three will be praying for the poker gods to look favorably upon them.
So after a cracking day's play, it's time to bid you to Pro Nuts. That's good night from stunning Prague. Next time, one of our final 8 will become the 5th EPT champion of Season 5, so make sure you join us.